Welcome to Hatman Strikes Back Daily Boxing News. Fabio Wardley brutally knocked out Frazer Clarke on Saturday in their rematch in Saudi Arabia. Let's talk about it. Well, this fight was over before it started. Fabio Wardley came out very assertive, as he usually does, trying to establish his jab, bending at the waist more than he did in the first fight. Nevertheless, he still got caught with some lead left hands from Frazer Clarke. Wardley will often wait until somebody busts his nose or hits him with a big shot before he goes into Super Saiyan mode and sticks it on the opponent. He didn't wait for that this time. He got hit with a couple solid jabs and said, you know what, I'm gonna do it now. Beast mode activated. He slung a big looping right hand over the top, caught Frazer Clarke. His legs did a silly dance. He jittered into the corner. Fabio Wardley followed up with wild swings, but he at least had the wherewithal to then go down to Frazer Clarke's body with some nice hooks. But Frazer Clarke was countering quite well. There was not much in the counters, but he was countering quite well off the ropes with some left hooks and then eventually an uppercut, after which he attempted to tie Fabio Wardley up. But Wardley, evidently, when he's in that Super Saiyan mode, is very strong, and he was able to shrug Frazer Clarke off and continue punching. And Frazer Clarke was kind of surprised and discombobulated by that. Wardley connected with another big right hand and put Frazer Clarke in serious trouble, and then a final right hand caved the side of Frazer Clarke's head in. Literally, there was a hole in the side of his head. He went down on one knee, and his face was leaning off to one side like he just had a stroke. It was actually quite scary. And when the referee looked at him, he realized, okay, I need to wave this off right here and get this guy tended to by the medical team, which is what happened. Frazer Clarke did not know what had hit him. Fabio Wardley wins by first round knockout or TKO, however they recorded it. It was a great performance by Fabio Wardley. He didn't want to go through a life and death struggle like he did last time. He wanted to stick it on Frazer Clarke while he was still fresh, before Frazer Clarke managed to get a foothold into the fight with his jab and his boxing skills. Stick it on him early and fully commit to taking him out. And that's what he did. So hats off to Fab. Fantastic job. Fabio Wardley is wild, unconventional. He's not defensively blessed. He doesn't have the greatest skills in the world, but what he does have is great punching power and the natural instincts of a fighter. This is why he was able to survive in those training camps with Dillian Whyte and transition from being a white-collar boxer to a professional boxer. Dillian Whyte recognized that Fabio Wardley had that dog in him early on, and he certainly does. The man is a pure-born fighter in terms of his instincts and his mentality. And you can't teach that. You're either born with those type of instincts or you're not. You know, Frazer Clarke has been boxing for years and years and years. International, amateur and all that, Olympian. He doesn't have that raw fighting instinct of Fabio Wardley, where if you hurt him, if you catch him with a good shot, Wardley gets angry. It's like the Incredible Hulk. I know Wardley has spoken about some of the skirmishes he's had in the street over the years, but I tell you what, Fabio Wardley must be a hell of a handful on the cobbles. In any kind of bar fight or brawl, yeah, this guy's going to be a hell of a handful. So great performance by him. And as for Frazer Clarke, he did indeed suffer a broken jaw. That's what that hole in his head was all about. The fracture situated high up on the left side of his jaw was apparent from a dent in his face and bone misplacement. Clarke was taken straight to hospital, from where his injury was diagnosed as a zygomatic fracture, and an operation was carried out on Sunday on his jaw and cheekbone to restore normal facial contour and symmetry. According to the British Journal of Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery, a zygomatic fracture can be considered non-vulnerable to reopening or contamination 3 weeks after it is healed. Promoter Ben Shalom said, Frazer successfully underwent minor surgery today. He's feeling well and rested and will head back to the UK this evening for further recovery with his family. He would like to sincerely pass on his thanks and we hope for a speedy recovery. Amen to that, because again, that was a scary looking injury. Fabio Wardley moves onwards and upwards. Before this fight, he was ranked number 8 by the WBC, number 9 by the WBA, number 12 by the IBF, and number 8 by the WBO. Frazer Clarke wasn't ranked in the top 15 with any of the sanctioning bodies last I checked, so I'm not sure how much this victory will improve Wardley's ranking, but it might move him up a few spots with at least one of the organizations, so we'll see. But in terms of who he should fight next, in the post-fight interview he said he wants to move on to world level fights now, fighting guys in the top 10 with a view to getting himself a title shot. I heard Ade Oladipo talk about some names that Fabio Wardley could fight next, one of them being Filip Hrgović. I don't like that fight for Fabio Wardley. Wardley. I think Hrgović is a lot better than Ade Oladipo seems to think he is. At the end of the day, Hrgović did a hell of a lot better against Daniel Dubois than Anthony Joshua did. He also did a hell of a lot better against Zheli Zhang than Joe Joyce did. Hrgović is quite good offensively, and he's got a tremendous chin. And Hrgović isn't actually ranked that highly as things currently stand, so I don't think Wardley would really gain much by taking that particular risk. Surely he should be trying to target people who are ranked above him. And Hrgović, believe it or not, is actually ranked below Fabio Wardley with most of the sanctioning bodies. The people who are ranked above him are the likes of Frank Sanchez, Efe Ajagba, Mike Perez, believe it or not, he's ranked number 5 with the WBA. God knows how that happened. Kubrat Pulev is ranked above Fabio Wardley with the WBA as well. I mean, God knows what's going on with the WBA rankings. Lania Perro, who's another Cuban heavyweight, is ranked number 4 with the WBA. Michael Hunter's ranked number 3. So there are several names there that I think would be good fights for Fabio Wardley next. As I say, Kubrat Pulev, that's a good one. Mike Perez, although he's a technically good fighter, so that would definitely be a risk. I personally really like the Efe Ajagba fight for Fabio Wardley. He's ranked number 5 by the WBC. He's also ranked number 7 with the IBF. Frank Sanchez as well. I think if Sanchez looks anything like he did against Ajit Caballel, that's a very winnable fight for Fabio Wardley. But then again, if Sanchez really was injured as he appeared to be against Caballel, maybe he outboxes Fabio Wardley. We'll see. But that's an interesting one potentially. And with the WBO, Justice Hooney is ranked above Fabio Wardley. I think that'll be a good fight for him. AJ's ranked above him, but that's not going to happen. And he probably won't fight Moses Atama either because they're both trained by Ben Davison. Caballel, I think, beats Fabio Wardley right now. As would Martin Bakole, in my opinion. As would Zheli Zhang. I don't think he's quite ready for those guys yet. So yeah, if it was up to me, I would say Wardley should go in there against a Pulev, a Mike Perez, an Efe Ajagba, maybe a Frank Sanchez, somebody like that. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And before I go, make sure you check out these videos that I've just uploaded to my Patreon page. One of them is a nearly 3-hour career review on Riddick Bowe, where I analyze footage of many of his most significant fights. So this is not the screenshots I use on YouTube. This is actual video footage of his fights. And I've also uploaded this video of the first round of Beterbiev versus Bivol, where I'm actually counting the number of punches landed, because CompuBox for that particular round was way off, not even close to being accurate. The real punch stats for that round were far closer than CompuBox had them, and they missed the best punch in the round, which was actually landed by Artur Beterbiev. That's a fact. That's not conjecture. I show it in this video in slow motion, in HD, so there can be absolutely no doubt whatsoever. If you want to access this video along with hundreds of hours worth of other exclusive boxing content, as well as our members chat, just head on over to my Patreon page and select the tier called the Boxing Brotherhood. There's no contract, no commitment. You can cancel at any time, just like Netflix, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper. Just download the app from the Play Store or the App Store. All the links are in the description box below.